So the one thing that you need to learn about in the Solution Explorer is that you have a solution and you have a project. So the project is what you create when you say create new project. By default, your project also creates a new solution. Now, you can make more than one project in your solution. You're not going to be doing that with RimWorld mods. Technically, you could, but that's getting into more advanced stuff. There's no real reason, no real advantage to doing that, really. I don't think, but um, you could manage all of your projects within one solution called RimWorld modding if you wanted to. I don't really see a point in it, and I don't think there's anything that great. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I just create new projects and have the solutions. But be aware that when you want to look at things involved your blah, let's use some proper English here. If you want to look at properties related to your project, you have to make sure you're right-clicking on your project, not your solution. If you right-click on your solution and you go to properties, you're going to get your solution properties. That doesn't have much in there. It has some stuff in there that's relevant, but when you want to look at your properties, your project properties, make sure you select your project. That's something that I see a lot of people new to Visual Studio failing to understand the difference between these two. The other thing that you need to make sure you understand with Visual Studio is that what you see is not what you get. What you see right here is like the tip of the iceberg. I don't know if you've ever seen the damn picture of the iceberg from like there's only a tenth of it above the water. That's all you can see. The same thing kind of goes with the way that the projects and classes and stuff are all handled in Visual Studio. Now, when you compile a class library, it shoots out a little DLL file for you, and then you're good to go. And it doesn't look like there's much going on, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes here. So, as a general rule of thumb, if you're not sure what you're doing or changing in here, make sure you look it up and figure out what you're doing first, because it's really easy to screw up your project if you don't know what you're doing. The most common way that I see people screw their stuff up is they'll think something like, okay, well, I want to change, this name here. So they'll say it's not going to be this, it's going to be, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll just come over here and they'll say, oh, well, this is gonna, and they'll just, double click in here and say blah, blah, blah. And they'll go and change names. That's how you end up breaking your project. It doesn't always happen. It's rare to happen when you're working on class library projects because they're more simple. But I still have seen people wreck their RimWorld modding projects by renaming stuff. Generally, when you want to rename something, you want to go over here into the Solution Explorer. You want to right click on it, and then you'll want to choose rename. I'm not sure what the stipulations are. It should prompt you with something saying, would you like to change this name and all references found relating to this or something like that, but sometimes it doesn't, which is annoying. And sometimes I find myself having to just drag, copy, paste the code that I want to keep from something and just deleting, just right click, deleting, and then creating a new one with the proper name and pasting the code back in. It's whatever. Just be aware. Okay, so let's take a look at setting up our project. So when we come in here, we have a stuffle. Okay, that worked the way that I wanted it to, I do believe. Or did it not? made a double YouTube project, YouTube video. Did I already have the YouTube video folder? I did. I already had the YouTube video folder here. And then I created YouTube project. Well, whatever. So next what I'm going to do here, and I haven't tried this with the Steam. I have both the Steam version of RimWorld and the desktop version of RimWorld. I haven't tried it with the Steam version yet, but we want to try to encapsulate. It's probably not the correct word I want to use. We want to try to keep everything that's involved with our project within our project folder, and it'll make it easier to share it and stuff with other people. Because I want to make sure that you're ready to work with other modders and stuff, and just kind of spitballing on the best way to do things here. So I'm going to go to, no, I'm going to go to games. Now you will have Steam installed at a different location, it doesn't matter. Steam apps, common, RimWorld. Yeah, I'm going to try doing this. I'm going to try taking this whole RimWorld folder right here, copying it, and pasting it right into our YouTube projects. What I want to do first is I want to create a new folder, and I'm going to call this resources. Let's paste our RimWorld stuff in there. This is going to be a long ass video. Shit. Okay, so let's see if this works here. Now, what we can do is come to our YouTube project, or our project properties. Let's come down to debug. Let's go for all configurations. Make sure we have all configurations selected. Let's start an external program, and let's browse to our storage, desktop repositories, our YouTube video project, into our resources folder, and our RimWorld folder. We just copied it, and let's choose that RimWorld exe. Let's give it a command line argument of something or another. Can't remember what it is. I think it's dash save folders or something like that. What is it? No. I gotta look at my other project here and see what it was. Okay, I think it's just dash. Let me copy it. There we go. That's what I used. Okay. That'll make it so it uses the save data within its own directory. So, let's go ahead and configure the rest of our project while we're at it. So let's go up to application. Make sure you have .NET 3.5 selected. Class library. If not, if the class library is not selected, then restart your whole project. Because you'll want to restart your project if it doesn't say class library. Startup object is not set. Let's go to our build here. Let's uncheck define bug constant, define trace constant. Let's check in allow unsafe code. I think everything else is fine here. Let's go to build events, no build events, that's fine. Debug. That's what we just did here. I think that's fine. Don't need any resources, don't need services, settings, no. Reference paths, no. Signing, no. Code analysis, no. What you can do is you can come in here and set up the stuff that will appear when you right click on your DLL and go to details when you compile it. I don't really care. That's up to you. So let's see if this wants to work. Could not initialize Steam API. Oh, hi, we're really loud there, aren't we? Ignore. No Steam steps are recorded. It's not going to happen every time, is it? I haven't done this by copying this out of the Steam folder yet, so that doesn't usually happen the other ways. So, okay. So, all that we can really see that we can get over here is just some quick snapshots at how much memory and CPU we're using. There's no way to dig into it anymore. Even when we start creating our own code, because when we start creating our own code, I do not believe there is a way that you can just start it and have it use your classes. You pretty much have to build it and have your, oh, that's what we forgot to set. Okay, so we forgot to set our build target. So let's go to properties, and we need our output path. That's what we need. Okay, output path right here. So browse to our YouTube video, YouTube project, resources, RimWorld, and then we want to do mods, and then whatever our mod name is going to be here. So let's say new folder, and we're going to call this our YouTube mod. Come in here and create our assemblies folder. And this is where we're going to build to. This is our output path. Really important. Okay. Now, of course, if you've done any modding before, if you've done the XML modding for RimWorld, we have to set up the rest of these folders. So we will want to say mods, YouTube mod, and we need our about folder. And then in there we need the about XML. I'm just gonna steal this one. Oh, and our license. Let's steal that one, our license, and put it in here. And let's just steal the about for now, just for right now. And we can even do all this from our Solution Explorer if we want to. up here, there's a little icon called Show All Files. Now it'll have a little dotted hollow icon, and that says that it's not part of our project. We want to leave it that way. But we can come in here like this, and we can go into our mods, YouTube mod, our about, and we can edit this stuff in here, which is kind of nice. So we can say YouTube mod. Target version's fine, and then for our description here, we'll just say testing. And save that. Alright, let's see what we get now. I wonder if that Steam one's going to pop up again. It is. Steam is not running launch from outside Steam without Steam app ID txt in place, running with different privileges than Steam client. In most cases, rebooting your computer will fix this problem. Steam cannot initialize the Steam API. Okay, that's really annoying. I wonder if there's just a file difference that we can do here. So let's grab our two things here, and let's look at our Steam installation, Steam apps, common, RimWorld, and now let's look at our local installation. The only reason that I'm really doing this is because I know that a lot of you only have RimWorld through Steam, and you don't, I mean, I shouldn't expect you just to go buy it for local, just for this little purpose here. So it looks like the local copy has one file more. What is it? It is the Steam app .txt. That's the only thing it has more than the other one, so I don't know what that means. So let's try just saying, maybe if we just make one of these txts, it'll tell it to shut up. I don't even know if the number matters. So let's see what happens when we go to our storage, GitHub repositories, YouTube video, YouTube project, resources, RimWorld. Now if we come here and we say a new text document and we call it Steam app ID, then we open it up and we just make up, how many digit numbers is this? This is a 6-digit number, so let's say 113366, just to see if we can't get it to stop complaining. No. Well, let's see what happens if we just have our Steam running. Okay, our Steam is running now. Yeah. I don't know how to get rid of that error. If somebody does, let me know. But it won't do that. If you have a local installation, it won't do that when you copy it over. But still, it's kind of nice to have it here in the start button. I think spacebar does it too. Or, sorry, it's like control space? No. Shift space? No. There's a shortcut for start. I don't remember.